Hello and welcome to another episode on Food and Aviation Network. Today we are at the Rand Airport. We are with the guys from African Skyline. So follow us on the journey while we actually take a flight around Joburg airspace and check it out.
African Skyline was started around about 2015. Alright, maybe a little bit earlier. Alright, I think actually 2013. Yeah, it was started in about 2013. The reason I started African Skyline was because I wanted to give people, regardless of their race, their gender, their background, I wanted to give them, and anybody that hadn't been exposed to aviation, I wanted to give them insights as to what was possible with flight. The second thing is that I wanted to prove that regardless of one's race, their gender, their creed, their background, age, ethnicity, anybody can pilot an aeroplane completely by themselves on the first day of flight. I wanted to prove that on the first day, not only can you physically fly this aeroplane, you could actually fly it by yourself throughout the critical stages of flight. And the critical stages of flight are regarded as the takeoff phase and the landing phase, and maybe an approach to the airfield. Alright. But for this to happen, you need to actually have a little bit of background or insight about the primary and secondary effects of the controls. What each flight control does, what is the effect on the aeroplane. Everybody might not want to become an airline or a commercial pilot, but flying, which a lot of people don't know, is just like driving a car. And a private pilot license is, you might go to Avis and rent a car. Well, you can do that with an aeroplane too. So if you've got a license, you go to a flying school and you say, I'd like to hire the aeroplane for an hour or so, and you can hire the aeroplane for X amount of time. So there's a lot of possibilities, and if you are interested, you can chat to us about it. Alright. To get this aeroplane up into the air, right, we need to apply an equal but opposite force to weight, isn't it? So, what is that force called? What am I doing to this aeroplane?
Lifting.
Alright, I'm generating a force called lift. So the force opposite and parallel to weight is so just like a car, we're going to open up this little cowl flap here, or engine flap, and we're going to check the oil. So on this dipstick, you've got a mark in there. Check. Get a proper indication, and you can see the oil is on the mark. Right, so we've got enough oil. Don't need to put anything in there. Then we check the landing lights, right? And make sure that you've got your landing lights attached. Got filament on the bow, right? So why do we have two landing lights? Because for night flying, we have a single landing light with a double filament. This landing light doesn't have a double filament. Make sure the wife's name is on the airplane.
The wife's name.
It's trouble. Okay. Got it.
Got it.
Great. Happy. Straight down, pressure trade is all good. Everything solid, keep already. Not yet. Check there. It's all good.
Check all good.
Exhaust is fine. Now we want to strain some fuel. Right. So the fuel is stored in the wing tanks. Right. We've got tanks on each wing. And here is what we call the fuel drain. There we go. Nice amount of fuel. And we call this the happy fuel.
Happy.
Why? Because it makes you happy when you smell it. Okay, so what are we checking here? We want to ensure that we've got the correct fuel. How do we think it's good? by. Now carry on through, coming around, and this is our, remember what this is called? They move in opposite directions. What is it called? Remember? It's called the ailerons. Right, so see the stick? There's the stick. If you move the stick to the right. Right, now this is called our flaps. What do the flaps do? A lot of people think that they're there to slow you down. Not at all. The flaps are here to generate more lift at lower speeds. So if I raise the aeroplane like this, right, instead of raising the nose to give me that lift, right, I can keep it at a lower altitude and extend some flap, and now I still have a high angle of attack at the wing, at the root. So when we are landing, we need to compensate for the low speed to continue generating lift. This, remember what this is called? What is it called? Vertical stabilizer and the rudder.
Rudder.
Horizontal stabilizer and elevator. So we're checking for damage, we're checking all the pins are in, we're checking that the linkage is fine. If you find me assisting you with an input, do not fight it, number one. Do not counteract my input. And number three, do not leave the control thinking that I'm in control of the aeroplane. Alright, cool. If the aeroplane's nose moves left or right off the direction that we were traveling in, or we wished to travel or fly, you're going to apply rudder in the opposite direction. So we're flying straight. The aeroplane is yours to the right, we're going to feed in the left rudder, just to bring it back to its previous position. And then we hold that rudder there to maintain that direction. If the nose of the aeroplane moves up, we call that pitch, we're going to apply forward pressure. And if it pitches down inadvertently, we're going to raise the nose to its previous position, right? By applying back pressure. Whenever you have control, I'm going to tell you, Itumeleng, you have control. You ensure you place your hands and feet on the control, one hand on the throttle, one hand on the stick, both feet on the pedals or one foot on each pedal, and you confirm by saying, Captain, I have control. When I have control, I'm going to tell you, Itumeleng, I have control. You will then let go of all the controls immediately and confirm by saying, Captain, you have control.
Okay.
Correct.
gentlemen, it brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Abdul, for your hospitality.
No problem.
Thank you so much, guys. Like and subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more.